Hey everyone, it's Eric with Just Add Power, and in this video, we're looking at how to control a Just Add Power video wall on an AMP standardized system in RTI Integration Designer 9. So to get started, let's look at what we've already got in our project. We've already got our switching driver loaded. We've got our device IP here for control. And then we've got our endpoint driver loaded as well. We've got it set to AMP VLAN because that's the system we've got. And we've already got our regular TVs and our sources already set up. So we've got our 4 sources. We've got our 4 regular rooms. We're going to be adding a new room with a 2x2 video wall in it. So as always, we've got our report file for the system. Let's put that over there so we know where all of our new TVs are. So we've added a game room to this location. And we've made the 4 TVs in the video wall in the game room receivers 5, 6, 7, and 8 in our system. So we're going to expand our system to have 8 outputs. We'll go down here and we'll name them. We've got our game room, video wall top left, game room, video wall top right, bottom left, and bottom right. That's going to become important later when we deal with positioning. And then we go to the same thing for our endpoint control. This is the one that changes wall modes, whether we're single screen or full wall. Let's increase our count because we've got 12 devices now. So we go up to 8 receivers. We'll do the exact same thing we did on the other driver. Video wall top left. And bottom right. So we've got our 4 positions. Hopefully they're the same on both. Yeah, top left, or top right, bottom left, bottom right. So these are 4 new TVs in the system. We've got them identified in the driver. Now we just need to program an interface to be able to handle them. So we've got our video wall control. Let's go to our video wall control page. And there's really 2 parts to setting up a video wall. Part 1, you have to tell it what mode you're in, whether you're going to be a full 2x2 wall or 4 individual pictures. And then you have to decide what you're showing on the wall or the individual pictures. We're going to do those 2 things separate, and then we'll combine it all together, see what it looks like as a single function. So as building the wall mode, so we have our 4 receivers. They're 5, 6, 7, and 8, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. And so first thing we want to do is build the full wall. I don't like putting these on buttons because you kind of want to use them a lot of places. So we're going to do this as a system macro. So we're going to name this the build full wall macro. And the way that this works is you have to think of the receivers as individual TVs in the system. You want them to go into a wall, but it actually takes 1 command to each receiver in the wall. So it's 4 commands rather than 1. So we're going to go down here to our endpoint control driver. Whoa. And then go to video wall control. And there's actually a function for set full wall. And we're going to do our receiver list. So starting at the top left. So we know our receivers are 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we actually do RX 5 through 8. We tell it it's a 2-row, 2-column video wall. And that it's landscape, so just regular orientation for the TV. You also have inverted top row if the 5 and 6 are flipped upside down. You just set that to inverted top row. But we do landscape. And it looks like 1 function, but it's actually being sent to 4 different receivers, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we drag that over. And our macro is built. It'll just figure out where everybody's supposed to be automatically. There is another way to do this. Rather than having the program just do all the math for us, we can actually go in for video wall control. We can do set standard wall mode. For this one, we have to do them 1 by 1. So we go game room, 2 by 2, and that's row 1, column 1, so the top left. And then we do the top right, still a 2 by 2, but we've moved over to the second column. We do bottom left, still a 2 by 2. That one's below, so it's row 2, column 1. Drag that over. And bottom right, 2, 2, 2, 2, the bottom right corner. And drag that over. So that's going to be individual screens. It puts it in wall mode, but you have to do 4 different commands. But that's the second way of doing it. So we're just going to stick to the build full wall as 1 function for here. So we can put it in full wall. Now let's take it out into single screens. We're going to make a single screens macro. And this one you actually do have to do one TV at a time, like we did. So set standard wall mode, and we're going to do top left, and we're going to do 1 by 1. That tells us it's a single TV, and 1 row, 1 column, because there's not more than one. All right, so we do top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. So this puts every single one of the TVs in the wall into single screen mode when we do that macro. Now we got the 2 macros built. Let's put it on our button. So full wall, create macro, system macro, and this one's going to build full wall when we hit it. Same idea, copy, edit macro, but instead of building full wall, this one is going to go into single screens. So now we've got our buttons to put it into wall mode and then put it back to single screen mode. Next, we have to actually switch what's going to be on it. So if we put it into wall mode, what are we going to watch on the wall? So there's 2 ways to do this. We can do the output, like select the TVs and then select the source, or we can do select the source and then select the TVs. So we'll look at it both ways. So we'll start with, we're going to select the TVs first. We actually can't do this as properties. We're going to do select wall receivers. So we go to our switching driver now, and then output, then input. We're doing the TVs first. So we're going to select output. And we want to select top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. So we're going to select all 4 of the TVs in the wall. That's not on that. And then once we've selected our TVs, we're going to set it to our source. So we've got output, then input, and then we're going to select our input. This one's going to be the Chromecast. And then because it's a wall and we're picking our source, once we're done, we're probably going to want to clear output selection. So what it'll do is it picks the 4 TVs in the wall. That's our first button. And then once we pick the source, it unselects those TVs so that we can do something different. It just happens on the same button. So that's our Chromecast. Let's copy that. We'll paste that macro over here. And then all we have to do is change the Chromecast line to Apple TV. And now we have 2 buttons that takes the whole wall, click right here, and then sets it all to Chromecast and then clears it. We select the whole wall again, set it to Apple TV. You don't have to do the clearing thing, it's just an option. Or we can do it the other way, where we select the source first, and then we say, I want to go to the wall. So we'll do this slightly differently. We're going to do create macro. We're going to do our driver command. We're going to do input, then output. So we'll select our input first. This is the Chromecast one. Just one thing. And copy that, paste that over, and then just change Chromecast to Apple TV. So we can either select our Chromecast or select our Apple TV. And then we want to set all 4 of the wall receivers at once. So we're going to do create macro. Going to go to input, then output. And we could do set output, but that's going to make them go one at a time. So blah, 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 blah. I don't want them to do that. I want it to look a little nicer. So we're going to set an output range. We want to set all 4 of the receivers in the wall at the same time. So we're just going to do 5 through 8 because those are receivers 5 through 8. So now the whole thing will switch at once. It'll be a nice visual for the customer. So really what we need to do is we now just need to combine all this together into our one button. So we're looking over here on the right side. We're going to do our select Chromecast. So we're going to do the bottom section here where it's input, then output. So first we're just going to copy these macros over so that we can select our inputs really easy. And then we're going to give the customer 2 options. We're going to say we're going to set full wall, but we're going to do a couple other things at the same time. So it's just one button press to do the wall and the switching and all that. So first we're going to do our macro. And so when they hit that, it's going to build the full wall because that's the full wall picture. But then we're also going to have it switch at the same time. So we're doing our input, then output, output range 5 through 8 because we can have that button do both things. So now they go select Chromecast. So the Chromecast is selected. And then they click this button one time, puts all 4 TVs into a wall, and then sets them all to the Chromecast. And they're done. They change something, they hit select Apple TV, click again, everything goes to Apple TV. But at the same time, they might want to do individual pictures. So what if I select Chromecast and I just want to set the top left one to Chromecast? Well, I don't just want it to change the source, because if I'm still in wall mode, I'm going to have a fourth of the Chromecast and other stuff on the other ones. So this button actually has to do something slightly differently. Yeah, we do want to switch sources. So we want to go to input then output, but we only want to change one output here. We only want to change the top left. And then when we change just the top left one, we want the whole wall to go into single screens. So they're going to tap Chromecast, they're going to say set top left, and then it's going to break into 4 pictures and change just the top left corner. And then we do that for each one of the buttons. So we'll paste here, edit macro, and the only thing we need to change is which corner TV changes sources. We'll do that for all of these. Change the bottom left. Paste and change to bottom right. All right, so now your user's got 2 options. If they want to watch full wall, they go Apple TV, full wall, done. If they want to watch single screens, they go Chromecast, top left, Apple TV, top right. No third button for third source, but third source, bottom left, fourth source, bottom right. So we've made some changes to our panel here. We've added our 2 other sources. So we've got all 4 as options. And then we changed some of this so that we can see the actual text naming change as we do our switching. So let's just upload to our processor, which has already been done. And let's pull up our panel and go from there. So we're going to select our video wall control. We'll focus on the combined side because we've got it all as one thing. So we'll go select Chromecast. You see it turns green. And then we will set full wall. And there it is. You see Chromecast showing on all 4 of the TVs, and we're in full wall mode. Now, if we wanted to go into single mode, we'd go select gaming. Let's put that on the bottom right. See the bottom right changes, and all 4 of our TVs are now in single screen mode. We just keep going. Blu-ray, Apple TV, and our Chromecast. So we've got our 4 different sources going. Blu-ray, full thing. Everybody switched over. And that's it. We've got our video wall control. We added our information to the driver. We built some macros. We did our layout changes. We did our source switching, and then we combined it all together into fewer button presses, so it all happens at the same time. If you have any further questions, need any assistance with it, please feel free to reach out to support, and thanks for watching.